Thank you.
All right, everybody. Welcome to today's press conference. We'll open the floor for questions for Coach Cook.
Hi, John.
Good morning.
How do you feel about how Lauren and Kayla are hitting and what that's done for the team this year?
I feel great about how they're hitting, and we made a big emphasis on it. They're putting up good numbers, and they're getting a lot of attempts, which is great. Makes us harder to defend. Our outsides should probably be better because of that, and we got to make sure we're fixing that and get more production from our outside hitters. So, but yeah, those guys are. We've been working on it. We had time to work on it, and it's paid off.
Why did you put a big emphasis on it this year?
Because if in the big matches last year we didn't set much middle, and we didn't have much of a threat, and so we know to beat good teams you've got to have a balanced attack, and your middles have got to create stress.
When you say Nicklin is doing a good job of setting those middles, what all goes into that?
Well, she has to. It's easy to set a perfect pass, set the middle, but good setters can set the middles from a lot of different areas, but they have to be able to put up a hittable ball because there's less room for error, and so they have to be able to put up a ball that the hitters can hit and move and hit around the block. So that's where she's improved. She's much more consistent and putting up balls that they can do something with.
John, what's the biggest challenge that a freshman defensive specialist faces when they make the jump to college volleyball?
Passing. Just the level of serving is so much tougher, and can they pass consistently over time, and do a good job on that. So that's to be the first thing. And then the second thing is, most freshmen, they don't understand how tough they need to serve. So that would be the second thing.
And how would you evaluate Canale on those two metrics and how she's adapted to college volleyball in her first year?
Yeah, she's doing an awesome job for us. Really, really pleased with how competitive she is, and she battles. And so she's been, I think, has up to this point has done a really nice job for the role that we've created for her.
John, what have you seen out of Ohio State so far? Obviously, 12-0 and 2 wins against Penn State probably isn't anything to look down upon.
Well, 12-0 in the Big Ten is going to get a lot of people's attention. They've got a new coach who's has done a great job with them. They returned all their players, and they added a great freshman, Londant. So they're loaded. They've got firepower. They got a setter who's very active, so we got to deal with that. You got to remember they beat Wisconsin at the end of last year, so this is not a fluke team or all of a sudden just a Cinderella team. It's a team that's older. They've got good players, and now they've got a coach who's helping them play really well. So 12-0 is pretty good.
John, with Kayla, has her blocking gone from something that was a concern to something that is something good?
Yes, she's really, really improved, and she's understands our system and how we're trying to play and how our blocking defense is, and she's really we've seen a lot of improvement in practice, and it's transferring into matches now. So it's pretty cool to see.
Is that pretty impressive for somebody her size?
Yeah. She trains hard. She works really hard. She watches videos. So I mean, she's she's doing everything you have to do to become a great blocker. I mean, that's a tough skill. You guys have heard me talk about that before. And she's not. Sometimes we think, oh, that's the biggest, tallest players are the best blockers. She's smaller. She technically has to be really good, and I think has really embraced that and is focused on technically and fundamentally doing a good job.
You mentioned the success that the middles are having, but how do you make sure that both Maddie and then whoever's playing right side, what do you have to do to improve on those, get those two to elevate their level of game?
It's a great question. We're working on it. So trying to solve the problem on how to have everybody firing on all cylinders. That's always the challenge, and that's why we practice and watch video and work on things and try to get better.
Was this weekend, was it a systematic problem, or was it just a matter of a couple players having an off night against a good opponent?
I don't know if I have an answer for you. It's just, the numbers don't lie, and we know what we expect out of those guys, and so we've got to be better in those areas. We were still able to pull off 2 wins. Nobody's been able to beat Illinois 3-0 twice. So we did a good job on that. We won close games, but we know if we're going to go from good to great, which we're trying to do right now, we have to have everybody firing on all cylinders.
Any more questions for Coach Cook?
Another question about Keonale. How much did it help her with the transition, having that extra semester during the fall to kind of adapt and get ready for the Big Ten season that started in January?
Yeah, I think for her, volleyball-wise, I think the transition was pretty fast for her and pretty easy. I mean, she's Hawaiian. They've grown up around the game. Her mom played. So that part was easy. I think what helped her was moving here from Hawaii and having a chance to go through a semester to acclimate to Nebraska, to being away from home, even though it was COVID, which made it really tough, but she was able to work through that. So I think that was the biggest adjustment. So I think by the time we got to the season this spring or winter, I think she just felt she was over the part about being homesick and being away from home, and we actually, I think she got a chance to go meet her family in Utah during the fall when we had time off, so that was good. And so I think that was the biggest opportunity for her to just be more comfortable. Now she can just worry about playing volleyball.
All right. No more questions. We will bring in Keonale in a little bit. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, guys.